Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the DFS experience for Friday, April 29th. As we know, we have a one game slate and it will be a showdown. So, usually I don't make videos for NBA showdowns, but um, to me, you guys have been good to me, so I don't have a problem um, going through my thinking when I build showdown lineups for DraftKings, especially DraftKings. I'll go through the FanDuel one also, but DraftKings people. Okay, when you see people say that they don't like DraftKings, it's because it requires a little bit of strategy and a little bit of thinking. That's why people don't like. That's why people don't like DraftKings. That's the only reason people don't like DraftKings. So if you ever hear someone say, "Oh, I don't play DraftKings. I hate DraftKings. I don't like DraftKings," it's because it's not easy. DraftKings is never easy. FanDuel, you can load up whoever you like, and with whatever money you have left, you basically just play whoever's available. DraftKings is a little bit more strategic. So there's two types of builds I usually do with showdowns. The first one is what I'll do is I'll go for the cheapest player that's the most productive or that will play the most minutes. So I'll go, you'll scroll down, you'll go down. So now we're getting to Brooks, Beverly, Kyle Anderson. Obviously, it's not Kyle Anderson. It could be Vanderbilt. But what's Vanderbilt's ceiling? 25, 30 fantasy points. So it will be somewhere between Beverly and Brooks. Jaren Jackson is too inconsistent as far as being available for his team, and that includes that includes foul trouble. So let's say Dylan Brooks is my cheapest, most reliable guy, and when I say reliable, that includes playing time, shot taking, shot making, peripherals, all of that. So I'll say Brooks. That's 10.5K in my captain spot. Is it captain or champion? What do you call it? Whatever. Captain spot. So that leaves us about almost 8K per spot. You can't play a showdown without Ja. You're gonna want to pick between Karl-Anthony Towns and Edwards. Elimination game in Minnesota. I'll say Cat has a phenomenal game. We're at 5,500. So now, what do? We could play Beverly. Pray he doesn't get himself thrown out. We could probably play Brandon Clark at 8K. That leaves us 4,350. We could play Malik Beasley. He's going to be the first guy off the bench. And if he hits his shots, he's an excellent play if he hits his shots. And that leaves us at 4,600. And with $4,700 left, the next best possible player is going to probably be Vanderbilt because he starts. He's not that much of a scorer, but he grabs a lot of rebounds and he's active on the defensive end. So I wouldn't pick Tillman. We haven't seen anything great from Tillman since he's been starting. 60 minutes, 2 shots, 1 shot, 3 shots. Fantasy points in the single digits. He's been doing nothing. So Tillman would not be an option to me. I'm going straight to Vanderbilt, and the money works. Vanderbilt. Last 3 games, 32 minutes, 35 minutes, 22 minutes. 36 fantasy points, 27 fantasy points, 21 fantasy points. If you ever watched the Minnesota game, you know that he's important in what this version of the Minnesota Timberwolves do. So that would be my 5. So I would go Brooks, Morant, Towns, Clark, Beasley and Vanderbilt. That's one. That's that right now. Looking at it, that looks like a good. That looks like a good lineup for showdown. Now my second build, what I would do is I will pick the best player that I think that will give me the most fantasy points in this game. I will, without looking at any type of projections, I will lean towards Ja Morant. I'll play Ja. I don't really think you could play it. I don't really think you could. The probability of playing a showdown with these two teams and fading Ja and Cat is probably not high. So I'm gonna lean towards playing Cat with Ja Morant, even though it's very expensive. That doesn't leave me a lot of wiggle room for the next set of good players. So what I'll do from there is I'll go to Beasley. I think Beasley's underpriced for what he could do. I'll go to Vanderbilt, 4,600, and then I'll go maybe Pat Beverly, or I'll go Brandon Clark and see what that leaves me with, 4,700. Melton is the only real choice. Maybe McDaniels, but I wouldn't work. So I take out Clark. I play Dylan Brooks. See where that leaves me. Leaves me at 5K. I could take Tyus Jones or Kyle Anderson. I will lean toward Kyle Anderson initially. I'll check his last few games, 26, 22, 18, 16, 16, 20. I'm really interested in the minutes though. And then I'll go to Tyus Jones. 14, 22, 20, 25, 20. So Tyus Jones been playing a few more minutes, and his production has been a little bit better. So playing Ja in the top spot where he's the most expensive player, this is how the rest of my lineup will look. So that's two different ways of how I look at building for showdowns. So we're gonna jump to FanDuel. FanDuel is pretty much, you don't need all that strategy, just make it work. Absolutely staying with, I want to say Ja for MVP, but the winning lineup will most likely not have Ja in MVP. That's usually how it works. Elimination game, Minnesota's at home. I play, if you want to go a little bit different, I do Bane or Edwards. So I do Bane or Edwards at MVP. Someone that you trust, that you believe will have a good game, a really good game. I'll go Ja. I'll go Cat. I think fading Cat at home in an elimination game is a mistake. That's why I keep picking him. That's just how I feel. Dylan Brooks might be a little bit too cheap at 9K. And then I'll probably go Beasley. I'll go Beasley over Kyle Anderson. So this is another lineup you can play. And if you wanted one more, let me see. I'm not fading Ja. You want to fade Cat, which will be very risky. Then you play Anthony Edwards. If you fade Cat and hope that he has a bad game or he fouls out, what you're looking at is that Anthony Edwards and Russell pick up the slack. So you could do Ja, Anthony Edwards, you do Russell. If I don't have Cat, I want to play Brandon Clark. And then You could do Tyus Jones or Beasley. And you want to go with the logic that if Cat has a bad game or whatever, Anthony Edwards, Russell, and maybe Beasley has a good game if they win. Brandon Clark is always productive, so he's nothing to worry. He's no one to worry about. If you're not familiar with Brandon Clark, you wanted to play someone else. Let's see. You go Desmond Bain and maybe Nas Reed if you want to be sneaky. But now you're getting into like, sneaky plays. So I'll keep it how I had it. We're doing Brandon Clark and Beasley, and praying to God that Karl-Anthony Towns has a bad game or a subpar game, and that Anthony Edwards, Russell, and Beasley take over. So that's why I keep saying in the playoffs, pick players to reflect how you think the game is gonna go. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully this video helps you. If you're new here, thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, thumbs up, all that great stuff, and I'll be back in a few with an MLB video. So I'll talk to you guys in a few. Ciao.